Hey everyone, Mr. DaVinci here. To continue diving deeper into buying goods and services, we're first going to look at how companies draw us in and inspire us to want their product. We're going to look specifically why teenagers are a great market to lure in and statistics that will blow your mind. But first, I have to start this marketing introduction with one of the greatest examples from Wayne's World.
Listen, we need to have a talk about Vanderhoff. The fact is, he's the sponsor. And you signed a contract guaranteeing him certain concessions, one of them being a spot on the show.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but basically it's the nature of the beast.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the beast doesn't include selling out. Garth, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
I can't talk about it anymore. It's giving me a headache.
Here, take 2 of these.
Ah, new print. Little, yellow, different.
Look, you can stay here in the big leagues and play by the rules, or you can go back to the farm club in Aurora. It's your choice.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
I don't know how much you enjoyed that, but I always laugh at Wayne and Garth, especially when they make fun of how people are used for advertising. But this is an example how companies will place themselves everywhere and anywhere just to be seen. Just by watching that clip, I already feel like some pizza and Pepsi. Anywho, this next part brings us to Times Square, where you'll see advertisements everywhere. Look right in the middle. You'll see those big arches. Who doesn't want a cheeseburger right now? Market research shows that an individual will see 4,000 to 10,000 ads per day. That's incredible, but alarmingly true. If you think about all the time you spend on your phone, TV, and the many other modes of media, it typically adds up to 9 hours per day. The idea is to capture your attention and want you to want more. Last year's Super Bowl ads and wondered why McDonald's, Ford, Coca-Cola were all gone? Well, a 30-second Super Bowl ad just went up to $5 million just for 30 seconds. That's incredible. I think to myself, what can Mr. DaVinci do with $5 million? Tacos? Chipotle burritos. You see right there? I gave Chipotle free advertising. Anyways, companies spent around $191 billion in the United States on advertisements. That is $567 on each individual living in our country. Advertising, teenagers are easily persuaded. Think about the last thing you wanted from watching TV. It probably had to do with saying how many benefits the product had for you. See, what companies do is exploit your anxieties and aspirations. Since you're in the developmental stage, they think you'll believe everything they say. And this is why we have to dissect every ad that we see. You are such a big market as teenagers that companies believe you have a huge influence on purchases. The Census Bureau shows there are 26.8 million teenagers in the United States. $258.7 billion are spent by and for teens. This is including what your parents and family friends spend on you. And this next statistic scares me because I now have 2 children. Teens spend $5,000 a year of their parents' money. Yikes. Well, I might as well start having them sell lemonade at the end of our driveway. Some marketing strategies to be aware of. Depending on your age, companies know teenagers aspire to be older. So when they develop a product, they use a person a few years older than your age group to show how wonderful the product is. Branding is what every company tries to attain. When you think of social media for teenagers, the first 4 that come to mind are Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm sorry, and I'm embarrassed to say it. I just got on Twitter, and I don't have Instagram or Snapchat. Does that make me old? But every company will be associated with a certain group. Abercrombie & Fitch, the preppies. Vans, skaters. Under Armour, the jocks. This is the image the company wants to portray to its consumers. Companies want to get you to want their items. Think of that Tickle Me Elmo doll. Wait, did I go too far back? Well, just imagine that Tickle Me Elmo doll. This item was flying off the shelves. Even though it was just a doll of Elmo, the character from Sesame Street that had a funny giggle, it was the doll to have. Kids would beg and plead with their parents to buy this item. Market research says that if you pester your parents 9 times, they are more likely to cave in and get you that item. And then there's also this cool factor. I know with my nephew, the new cool item are those fidget spinners. These spinners have blown up and are being sold everywhere. Large companies are even using professional sport teams to lure kids into buying higher priced fidget spinners. His exact words were, "Dad, I need to get a fidget spinner. Everyone has one at school. They're so cool." As we continue through this unit, I hope you learn the strategies companies use to lure you in and get you to buy something you never really needed. Because when you buy an impulse, monthly budgets can be affected, credit cards can become hard to manage, debt will begin to rack up, and the never-ending want will continue. All right, guys, until next time, see you all.